Welcome to the freewheeling cavalcade of circular motion, thus defined by the octagon table of double-wide mental introspection and dedicated utilitarian outward thinking in defense of zero content. Translation: we ain't got nothing.
Well, what I do have here is my last couple bites of my dinner. So just give me 1 second here. I know I normally don't like to eat on camera, but oops. Ow. Because if I don't get it, the dog's going to get it. And if the dog gets it, I'm not going to get it. So I'm going to get it. All right. Problem solved. Off to the side. Wait for the crash and bang. Hopefully stable. It didn't crash and burn. Okay. We do have some interesting stuff. I got a sheet over here on potentially some very intriguing happenstance, as it were. So let me just scroll on through here. I have scads of news stories. And I guess we could probably start out with something. I don't know if we need a palate cleanser per se, but we probably should have something. So let's just see what we got here. Do have somebody already who liked the video, which is always kind of cool. What the heck? Oh, we now have emoticons on our comments in the chat room. The plate just shifted. It's fine. Anyway, we do actually now have emoticons in the room, and it's the heart, the smiley face, the little celebration thing, surprise face, and the 100. Barry Kayson, appreciate you coming on by, dude. You know, I actually have a live person in the room besides these emoticons looking at me. Just give me 1 second here. I need some Tigger juice. All right, so looking at things as it is in the spiel and the good stuff like that there, I did actually find an interesting news story. I may have spoken on this last time, but it's been a while in between shows and good stuff like that there, and sometimes things get a little, in between the lines of, did I talk about that once before, or is it something that's still in the zeitgeist that I need to bring out, broach, and tell everybody about? Possibly. I think I shall just defer and just speak on the thing. All right. So anyway, this one is I hate when these links do this thing. This should be absolutely one of the easiest things of all. So hang on 1 second here. Let me just cheat, and I will simply just copy the link out of where I had it written down, and I'll simply just open up another tab, as it were. Okay, this one coming in from Amoland.com. And this is one of those, ICYMIs in case you missed it. I really hate when people do that. Hey, XYZ, blah, blah, blah. It's just say what you're going to say, okay? You don't need to have this high arrogance of stating, hey, if you're not in the in crowd, you won't know about the XYZ. So annoying. Anyway, so this one we're looking at right here is kind of really something kind of exceedingly cool. And Ruger, because they bought Marlin, are now making the lever guns yet again. They started out with the 1895, which is the large receiver, basically the large, really just kind of almost overbuilt for what it is, but it's shooting a big honking shell. I mean, it's 45-70. That thing, that is like pretty much any large land mammal on these United States. 45-70 has killed it. It is a unbelievably effective, shoulder shaking, gut rumbling, very effective black powder era cartridge that, when loaded with modern projectiles and modern equivalent loads, is scary effective. I mean, you're basically putting out one big honking piece of lead and not a slow velocity. Tends to do the job very, very nicely. Well, they've now also stepped it down, and they've started making yet again the 1894. So the 1894 would be literally one step down, slightly divergent design. Obviously, Marlin in his later iterations, came up with the 1895, started out with the 1894, different designs. And I forget the guy's first name, but it's kind of like one of those old school, kind of really, like almost like very turn of the century style, first names. And I forget what it is. I'll have to look it up. But anyway, so basically, Ruger is now coming out with the 1894. Now, that one is actually chambered in pistol calibers, and they're starting out right off the bat with 44 Magnum. Well, it wouldn't be too much of a stretch to say that this rifle could now also be chambered in, let's see, 357, 44 Magnum, 44 40, 45 long Colt. Potentially, if you did a little bit of tweaking and tuning on the action, you probably could even go somewhere upwards of maybe like, I don't know, like 450 Bushmaster. Well, that's a rebated rim, but you get along those lines of cartridge types. You can get really, really inventive really, really quickly. But that one, I think that one actually might be a little too powerful for that action. I think it's actually more intended for like, hot rod 40, hot rod 45, 44 caliber cartridges. Maybe you could do it in Casull. Yeah, that'd be kind of interesting. I think it actually is the next step up if you were to do something along the lines of just bigger caliber choices. Now, there is guys that actually do make a 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum lever gun. There is also probably a 460 Smith & Wesson rifle. I mean, it's not a hard thing to do. You simply just upscale things or downscale things or figure out what it's going to fit best in for the pressure level, the what's called case thrust. That's literally, I'll give you let's just do it with this one. Get a good depiction here. You basically have the weapon fully locked up, cartridge in the chamber. Obviously, this is bullet side. And when you fire the cartridge, it obviously has a momentary expansion against the chamber walls, which helps with the strength level of the actual brass, because the brass will expand. And then after, a couple of microseconds, it'll obviously retract. So what happens here is when it retracts and the cartridge is still probably, kind of somewhere along the bore, if not outside the bore, and the pressure level hasn't dropped off in the barrel, there is case thrust, where the case is literally pushing back against the bolt face. Now, if you have a big honking area with lockup, obviously all that metal and all that mass is going to hold everything in place. But if you have a lot of case thrust with not a lot of metal, that's when you have things breaking, and obviously the rifle just grenades. So the case thrust is actually something that they have to worry about, and usually it's along the lines of pressure level of the cartridge. Back in the good old black powder days, they basically had black powder loaded to a certain pressure level, and that's as good as it's going to get because it's black powder. The physics are basically, this is your maximum pressure level. Well, how do you make the cartridge go that much more faster? You can't. You've reached your theoretical maximum of black powder is going to have an expansion rate of XYZ PDQ. So, not that, but it has your maximum expansion rate of X. Let's just break it off on X, okay? Because if I start bringing in all the other stuff, we'll be dealing with a whole bunch of unhappy rainbow guys, and they'll be going on, hey, you're talking about the XYZPDQOU812. No, sound guy, that was not exactly what I was talking about, but we were talking about the value of X. XYZPDQOU812. Sound guy, no, okay, we're not talking about whoa commentary. Yeah, we're not talking about that. Whoa commentary. He's got new sound bites, folks. Okay, so we're not talking about woke commentary. Whoa commentary. Whoa commentary. Yeah. Okay, obviously those are probably just a little amped, so I had to drop the volume a little bit because he's running a little hot. XYZPDQOU812. Sound guy, we're talking about the value of X, okay? No, not that. Not X files. Okay. All right, he's on a tear again, folks. All right, so the value of X with black powder. Black powder has a maximum expansion rate. It'll put out a projectile at X times projectile weight times resistance times cartridge size times possibilities of all these various pedumbulations coming into play for basically making the bullet go from point A to target end. Well, black powder maxed out. That's pretty much it. That's as fast as you're ever possibly going to go with black powder. It is at its theoretical maximum. That's all you're getting out of it. That's basically your car has hit the rev limiter, your motorcycle's topped out. That's the absolute top speed you're going to get out of the thing. So what did they do in instance of this one? They said, okay, we can't go any faster. We can go bigger. So that was exactly what they did with black powder firearms, was they went bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until finally they said, you know what? 50 caliber is pretty much about the theoretical maximum we really tend to go to, mostly because are we really getting that much more by putting out something bigger than half an inch in diameter? Well, no, you're basically throwing a spear at that point because the arc of trajectory in those things is going to be, of course, designated by obviously the the whole algorithmic thing that everybody tends to do. Basically the speed of gravity is 32 feet per second squared. So and here's the dirty little secret: a bullet moving at 600 feet per second, a bullet moving at 2,200 feet per second will actually hit the ground roughly at the same time if fired at the same trajectory. Literally, they're both going to go bloop. But because the bullet that's heavier and slower tends to go less distance, is because the actual technology involved with a big, heavy, slow bullet doesn't really travel as well as a nice, speedy little, aerodynamic guy at the same trajectory. But they'll hit the ground at the same time because gravity is what it is. The only time that you actually get a bullet to delay that function is when you're aiming way up and you're arcing their trajectory. You're not just shooting it flat. And if you shoot them both flat, they'll actually hit the ground at the same time. One will be further out than the other because, obviously the heavier bullet will slow down and hit first. Yeah, Patriot Fever in the room. Appreciate you coming by, dude. Mythbusters an episode on this. God, I missed that show. Yes. But the theoretical maximum of black powder is actually just that's it. That's as fast as possibly going to go. So they went bigger until they said, you know what? Half an inch is pretty much about it. However, if you're trying to get that theoretical maximum type of performance with the way it works with black powder, is you add more black powder. So that's where you get rounds like the 50-40, 50-50, 50-70, 50-90, 51-10, 51-40, until finally you have something that basically looks like a cigar with a bullet on the end and a primer on the other end, and it goes in this big honking bolt gun, or it goes in this big honking rolling block, or it goes in basically almost about the same thing as dude holding a cannon because he's trying to zap a buffalo at some ridiculous distance, and they would. The classic example and definition therein of something big, heavy going splat would be the 50-140 Sharps. Oh, my stars and garters. That thing is insane for the technology of the day. All right. So anyway, going back to Marlin. Marlin is redoing the 1895, and it's going to be basically in pistol caliber, starting out with 44 Magnum, which is pretty blanking cool, man. Patriot Fever, can we say Quigley Down Under? Yeah, well, his was actually a reproduction / custom rifle. It was not nearly the same as like your standard Sharps rifle, man. He was explaining it to the guy in the movie. I run this, I run that. This type of ammo and this type of mold will basically throw a bullet weight of blah blah blah, and that's my standard. But there's no way in the world he was zapping that bucket that far away that fast offhand. There's just it's a nice movie, but no, he was not nearly that good. Excuse me 1 second here. Especially not knowing the range. That is the I would say the mother father, but the great equalizer. Okay, yeah, it is the great equalizer. Sound guy, what are you going on about? Anyway, so looking over here, scrolly. Um, mm, this one, this one. Oh man, I cannot do this one justice. This one is going to be literally one of those occasions where we have to call out the woke squad.
Woke commentary.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're talking about the classic case of um, leftard opens mouth, inserts both feet, and says, "Oh well, we know what we're talking about because we're so much more charitable than you guys." Well, what happened here is essentially they stuck their feet square into it, and the only way to simply say it is what they really tended to do is absolutely blanking hilarious. This one coming in from patriotalerts.com. Um, Ben and Jerry's put out a tweet. Now, this would, of course, being, 17 days or 13 days after the fact. But Ben and Jerry's put out a tweet on July 4. Now, if you look at the tweet, it's this kind of hacky, kind of like, you basically have the templates that pop up on Facebook and you can put in your text to a certain degree. And it's really kind of like this modeled, it's not even good to look at. It's like this modeled orange and brown thing with like these little surreptitious stars in the background. And there's a cartoon hand holding up a sign that says, "This is stolen land," with some little poofy kind of what you would intimate as being fireworks in the background. But in the statement, it says, in this box of detritus, it says, the United States was founded on stolen indigenous land. This 4th of July, let's commit to returning it. Now, the thing about it is Ben and Jerry's is not owned by Ben and Jerry's any longer. It's actually owned by Unilever. So Unilever is literally a large company that has like all kinds of healthcare products, and obviously they've expanded their the portfolio, shall we say? And they expanded a portfolio, and they have other items, obviously food items like Ben and Jerry's and what have you. And Patriot Fever, this is crap ice cream. All right, hold back your enthusiasm for the ice cream for just a second there, Patriot Fever. So anyway, so they basically said, this land is indigenous and we need to give it back and blah, 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 blah. Well, like they say in the article, there's a tribe who wants the land back in Vermont where Ben and Jerry's is headquartered. So Ben and Jerry's got cream for their anti-American 4th of July post, which went to the Wayback Machine to accuse America on Independence Day of being founded on the genocide of Native Americans. Excuse me, I got an itchy nose there. Quote, this 4th of July, high time we recognize the U.S. exists on stolen indigenous land and commit to returning it. Learn more and take action now, the ice cream company said, while linking to a website filled with cherry-picked historical facts that somehow sugarcoat how Native American tribes had their own the sugarcoat how Native American tribes had their own warlike histories. Oh yeah, those guys were zapping each other since Christ was a cadet. Just give me 1 second here. The Indian wars out west were nothing short of just absolutely brutal. Then there's actually been times where like known famous guides went back and they were going to go talk to Tribe XYZ. Don't do it, sound guy. Going back to talk to Tribe XYZ, and the guy disappeared. Well, they'd send in the next group of like, Indian guides, and they were looking for, this guy, and they're like, "Hey, what happened to him?" It's like, "Oh, we ate him." we decided to take his honor and bring him into ourselves and be able to fight onward with his energies and strengths. So stuff like that did happen. So Ben and Jerry's then trumped up support for the land back movement, which is no less an interdentalist movement designed to break up the United States into tribal territories based on claims from centuries ago. Why are we talking about this? Because the 4th of July, many people in the U.S. celebrate liberty and independence, our countries, and our own, they said. What's the meaning of Independence Day for those whose land this country stole, who were murdered and forced with brutal violence on the reservations, pushed from their holy places, and denied their freedom, the company continued. The faces on Mount Rushmore are the faces of men who actively work to destroy indigenous cultures and ways of life to deny indigenous people their basic rights. And underneath it says, it should be noted that Ben & Jerry's is defacing the historic memory of U.S. Presidents George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt, and Abraham Lincoln. Quote, the indigenous led land back movement opens a new window. It's all about restoring the rights and freedoms of indigenous people. They added, it's all about dismantling white supremacy and systems of oppression, ensuring that indigenous people rest in the land their communities have called home for thousands of years. Yeah. But there's that whole libtard buzzword about, supremacy this and picking on the white guy and quote, the U.S. exists on stolen land. We have to acknowledge that today and every day. They added in the case of Mount Rushmore, the Supreme Court already did. This 4th of July, let's return to the sacred place of the Lakota. Let's make it a day embraces freedom and justice for all. Okay, the Lakota and the Sioux. Let's just say that they had some really interesting occasions with each other for a long time. Well, it gets even better. There's a Native American tribe that was originally controlled land in Vermont that the Ben and Jerry's headquarters is located on, and it wants the land returned to them after the company publicly called it stolen lands to be returned. Oh man. Forget which tribe it is. But Ben and Jerry's parent company, Unilever, recently experienced a significant decrease in market capitalization. Translation, they're going broke, losing almost $2 billion following calls for a boycott of the Vermont-based ice cream maker. This backlash came after Ben & Jerry's posted a tweet on July 4, criticizing the United States for existing on, quote, stolen indigenous land. They don't talk about the tribe, but there is, let's see if I can't just do a real quick scan here real fast. The Abenaki tribe. So ABENAKI, the Abenaki, and those are the guys based out in Vermont that are saying, "Look, dude, you took our stuff, give it back." Oh man, I love when these guys basically thrust their oars in the water and paddle straight into the poop pile. It is truly glorious when they do these things. Or they get called out for being the complete and total virtue signalers that they really truly are, because they really truly don't intend to give the land back. They're asking everybody else to give their land back. It's for me, not for thee. Yeah, that's just how they roll. Coming in from Analand.com, the UN, also known as the UN, finalizes the plan to regulate ammunition. Okay, well, first and foremost, that's not going to work so good in this country, okay? Trust me in that regard, because we tend to take the firearms things just a little bit more seriously than some other countries do. I would also think maybe along lines, maybe like the Poles, maybe like other countries, the Serbs, the Croats. There's a lot of countries that really won't kowtow with this thing. And I tend to think that it's really kind of interesting that the UN is trying to now stick their nose in where they're trying to basically make it so that the private firearms ownership is now maybe not taken away, but they're going to take away the things that go bang that'll keep you from doing these things. So anyway, this is let me read the article here. Late on the night of 9 June 2023, the United Nations Open-Ended Working Group, remember that. So the Open-Ended Working Group on Conventional Ammunition, which is the OEWG, God, I hate when they do this stupid acronyms, concluded its development into a new global framework to address existing gaps through life conventional ammunition management, despite the disassociation of the Russian Federation and their bedfellows Belarus. I got bad news for you, Mr. UN guy. You try to tell the Russians to try to do anything, it's not going to fly. Trust me on this one. Created through the General Assembly resolution purporting to address problems arising from the accumulation of conventional ammunition stockpiles and surplus. What business is it of yours if people have stuff in surplus? The OEWG rested no time in expanding their work since it began in February 2022 under the guise of Through Life Ammunition Management, Universal Ammunition Serialization, running hand in hand with the user regulation, quickly became the OEWG's end goal. It became evident the group was established and continued throughout 4 weeks of discussions, even where the word stockpile rarely got mentioned. After all, even in the specious world of the UN, no one could argue the global agreement telling countries to secure their national ammunition supplies was necessary. Well, good luck on that one. I mean, you go to basically places like Pakistan, or what is that one, the Khyber Pass or something. Those guys are making and selling firearms that have zero serialization on them. See you in a second here. P. Fletch in the room. Last while reloading shredder salt for revolver clips with homebrew salt loads. I saw somebody doing that. Literally, what they did is they basically took the what looks like for all the world like the Crossman 357 pistol cylinders. Those of you who don't know, the Crossman 357 is a CO2. So the little steel cartridge you put into the butt, you pop the CO2, and then you breach it open, kind of like a shotgun, and then you drop a cylinder which has 8 pellets in it. Now, there's also a 10-shot version too. So it has the 10-shot pellet or the 8-shot pellet, and literally you snap it closed, cock it, or pull the trigger, and it lines up the cylinder with each pellet getting spat out the barrel. But what the salt one does is it trades a pellet for basically a blob of salt that then has like paper on both sides of the cylinder to hold it in place. And literally you just walk up to Mr. Bug and go, and it basically shotguns them with a blast of salt. And it's salt. I mean, if it goes out in the ground, it's just going to get washed away with rain or something. If you shoot it at yourself, it's probably going to sting. But, that's the worst thing you're going to do yourself. However, on flies and other, nasty little critters, works pretty good. In the room, also, Mediterranean Sasquatch lives 16 miles away from Oakland. I can find 3 guys named Ray or Ivan and have enough money to find an RPG. Good luck. And that's in California, which is like exceedingly not the best place to find, like, actually, it is the best place. You just kind of pick up your phone and go, "Hey, G-Dog, I'm looking for a GAT. How long is it going to take me to find a GAT?" And they're going to go, "Oh, man, what kind of GAT you want?" It's like, "Oh, I want a chopper." "No problem, Holmes. Where are we going to meet up?" Boop. Gun got, just that easy. And they've done numerous, interviews with any of these guys coming out of the jail. And it's like, "Oh, yeah, the gun laws are so this, that, and the other thing." It's like, no, they're not. I basically come out of jail, basically being just a freed felon, or if I'm on probation, I want a GAT. I make 3 phone calls. I get a GAT within 2 hours. Done. No waiting period. Loaded, ready to roll. And oh yeah, it may have some marks on it. So when I get done using it, I'm going to wipe all my fingerprints off, make sure I wash it off really, really well. And I'm just going to chuck it in the alleyway for the next guy to go, "Oh, look, here's a GAT. I can use this in my next crime escapade." That's why the cops really have a hard time finding like GAT with like many marks on them, because it's been traded by a bad guy to bad guy to bad guy. And it's been used in many criminal enterprises. Yeah, bad guys have zero problem finding active duty firearms. Trust me on that one. Patriot Fever, Patriot laughs when they ban ammo, and some conservative Star Wars fans builds functioning E11 blaster rifle stormtroopers. Eat your heart out. There's better ones than the E11, dude. I mean, if you're gonna get down and dirty, Han Solo's sidearm was pretty much like on par. I mean, that thing was just the stuff. P. Fletch, the shredder's built using the Crossman Vigilante, and the shredder clips work with the Vigilante. Shredder Vigilante. That okay, all right, sure. Oh, remove the barrel of fire, made it more powerful. Okay. He gave it a air quotes tune up. So now the bugs just don't go, they just kind of go pop. All you need now, P. Fletch, is a laser sight on there, and then you basically can walk the dot around, and then the fly goes, "Hey, what is that?" And you can then draw them into range, as it were. All right. Anyway, looking at other stuff going down. I do think that the UN is pretty much not going to be able to do anything to which they say they will, like most things, and they'll probably simply be just kowtowing to like some tin pot dictator, like they always do. Can it be said possibly any other more certain way than don't deal with the Bank of America? And I do mean just don't use them for loans. Don't use them as a check card. Don't use them as a credit card. Have absolutely zero to deal with them. Why? Well, because this one coming in from Amberland.com, the Bank of America is turning over information on gun owners to the FBI. Now, was any of these people guilty of any criminal enterprise? Were they under any active duty investigation? No. Why did the Bank of America do this? because they are the Bank of America. And the other thing too is you really truly need to see something kind of interesting here. Let me just do a really, really quick and easy search here. So let's just put Bank of America into Google and let's find BBB complaints. So that would be the Better Business Bureau. And um, let's just see how bad the Bank of America actually rates with the Better Business Bureau. Let's see. Bank of America has been accredited since 1949. Um, mm, yeah, this is interesting, folks. Complaints. Okay, let's see if it'll actually do this. Um, billing question, problems with product and services. Okay, I want to find out just how many complaints. Let's see if I can't do that because doing rating it just kind of goes eh. Um, 7,617 total complaints to the Better Business Bureau. Okay, that's not that really that many, but the problem is how many times I've been dragged into court and sued. Let's just see by losing the Better Business Bureau number and see what else we have. Bank of America, how many complaints? Um, what bank has the most? Let's go that way. Bank has the most complaints. Well, Wells Fargo, we know that one. Citibank's got a lot. Capital One's got a bunch. Discover's got a bunch. Let's keep on going down. Let's see if it'll let me actually do more. 10 worst banks according to their customers. Well, let's just see where Bank of America is 1, 2, 3. Hang on a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it's one of the largest banks in terms of the United States banking industry, as it were. But the Bank of America was turning over that information, and it's come out that the FBI whistleblowers are coming forward with damning allegations against Bank of America, according to Representative Tom Massey, Republican from Kentucky, and Representative Jim Jordan, Republican from Ohio. The banking giant has been revealing information to the FBI about the customer gun purchases without a warrant. Now the pair sent letters to the banks see if they also violated the privacy rights of their customers. Protest this, that, and the other thing, blah blah blah. Oh, that was the other thing too. Is also they actually had some little Snoopy stuff where they were handing over information about January 6th. Yeah. Bank of America. Don't touch them with a 2-mile pole, if that. Excuse me. B. Fletch. I'm not going to take that one out of the room, but that sounds like fun. Let's just say it's stuff associated with the Bug Assault toys. Yeah, that sounds like fun. Scrolly. Okay, this is going to be possibly a couple of Disney stories. So this is just the first one, but I cannot do this justice except for simply to tell you guys. But man, this is like these trust fund kids with entirely too much money to play with. They got nothing better to do with their time. So what do they tend to do? They act like a-holes. Yeah, coming in from truthpress.com, Disney heiress arrested during climate protest. Okay, so the chick is dressed pretty much normal, right? Well, what she's doing is not normal because she's lying down or she's got herself chained to something or the cops had a cut pair of like flexi cuffs or whatever the hell she was doing with it. But Abigail Disney, heiress of the Disney fortune, was arrested in New York on Friday after she and several climate activists blocked a small airport servicing private jet departures and arrivals. She's so effective. Disney are joined by members of the New York Communities for Change, Planet Over Profit, and Sunrise Movement NYC, and the action held to protest and disrupt, quote, the exclusive vacations of wealthy fossil fuel investors and polluters driving the climate crisis. Girl, just find a cause, okay? Come on, really. So the activists blocked the regional East Hampton Airport in Wayne Scott, New York. Oh, yeah, that rolls right off the tongue. Okay, so let's just even see where this thing is, folks. I'm just going to click it off on maps real fast here. So the East Hampton Airport. It doesn't sound like the average place for the average Joe. It just kind of sounds like hoity-toity out in the middle of nowheresville. Oh yeah, where's it at? Uh, is it on Long Island? No, no. Oh yeah, it is. It's like way the heck out on Long Island. It's almost like it's almost in Montauk. East Hampton. It's like okay. Let's put this in perspective, folks. It's a ritzy ass area of New York. Okay, this area is like exclusive. It's not like you're gonna have like you're disrupting all the traffic from everybody going to like this word in my mouth is just bad, but LaGuardia. Don't, don't fly in and out of LaGuardia. Trust me on this, okay? It's out in the middle of nowhere in terms of the way New York works, and the place was dedicated and built in the 1930s. It is dinky and trying to be more than what it really truly is. JFK is a better airport, and I'm saying that only because it's a bigger airport. It's not better. It's better with air quotes. Okay, that's not the easiest way. It's better with air quotes. It's like saying I'm going to go to California. I'm going to go to LAX because it's a better airport than John Wayne. No, it's not a better airport. It's an truly international airport, and that's the only thing going for it. That's what makes it quote unquote air quote better. Mic check. What's going on with my mic? I thought it's working. Is it working? Is my mic working? Is it working? Yes? No? In the room? Uh-oh. Hopefully it's working. Let me put a comment in the room there, hopefully. Okay. Well, Martina Sasquatch says yes. Ox. Pedro Fever, I don't know what you mean, dude. You're going to have to type that out in English, dude. I'm now waiting for the response in the room. Patriot Fever, that would be you. It went full John Glenn for a second. Okay, I'm gonna blame. I'm gonna blame. Oh, okay. It was him. It was him. It was a him. All right. She basically was doing this rah festival in an airport that was literally out in the middle of like East Jesus Rich Guyville, Long Island. Okay, and it's all literally that's how it works. It's one word. Okay, I don't know what to tell you, Martina Sasquatch. I didn't stutter on my end, but the thing about it is going out to that section of Long Island. That's Rich Guyville. Okay, you're basically going out to an airport that literally is in this spit of land that's barely wide enough for the freaking airport. Okay, it's like if you're driving to Long Island. You're driving to Long Island, you're driving to Long Island, driving to Long Island, driving to Long Island. And then it kind of peaks off in this one rich guy area. Then it kind of goes down to this other rich guy area. There's like a bay there. And then on the other side of that bay is like the airport. Then it's like the land kind of starts back up again. But it goes to this really narrow spit of land that's just big enough for the airport. Anyway, so way, shape, and form is essentially they went out there and they protested this rich guy airport. Probably because it wasn't that much of a long trip for her to drive from her really ridiculously exclusive. What's the phrase they use? Her her family area, as it were. Anyway, so she basically was protesting at a rich guy airport in a rich guy area as a rich person. I'm sorry, your cause is not just. You're about as foofy as it gets. I mean, I don't even know really how to explain it other than simply just saying shut up. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Just
Shut the up.
yeah, that's all I got. She's just yeah, that is just so wimpy. I mean, it's just beyond wimpy, okay? It's just
Shut the up.
yeah, I mean just
Shut the up.
yeah, just
Shut the up.
there's no other way to say it except for say it, but man, that was just yeah, that was crash and burn. Okay, that's something that only a foofy little rich girl would ever possibly do and think it means something. Wow. Patriot Fever, is that Darwinism? No, that's stupid spoiled enclave. Stupid rich girl coming off the enclave thinking that she's going to do some social justice thing and failing miserably. Oh, no. That was it was more than that, sound guy. It was just yeah, just just not even worthy of talking about because
What?
that was bad, man. Just bad. I mean, she comes out of her house going,
I know. I'm going to go to the airport and protest global warming. Yes, I will go out there. And Jeeves, be sure to bring some sparkling water. It's going to be rather warm today.
Dick.
yeah, I just,
You dick.
yeah, just beyond foofy. I mean, that's the only way you could say it. It's just so beyond foofy. That's the rich person coming out and doing a really noteworthy protest. And the only reason it even made the news is because of her last name. Everybody else is like, oh no, you blocked the rich guys from going to the airport. What'd you do? Delay them maybe like 15 minutes before the cops grabbed your ass? And then you got what? Oh, a trespassing ticket? Beyond. Just beyond. I was going to talk about Joe Kaka, but I just can't seem to work up the I can't work it up. I cannot work up the enthusiasm to talk about Joe Kaka today. I cannot. Cannot. No. No. I cannot work up the enthusiasm. Cannot. No. Cannot work up enthusiasm. Nope. Nope. Mm-mm. Nope. Nope. Mm-mm. Nope. Mm-mm. Nope. Mm-mm. Nope. Nope. Mm-mm.
No. No. Hell no. I refuse. No.
No. Oh, it's meowism. Meowism. Oh man, that's appropriate too. It's meowism.
I'm going to go out and protest and let you know how I feel about things.
Except in her case, it's more like, yeah.
I'm going to go out and protest. And you hear my fury? I'm coming at you. You will hear my fury.
It's like she basically comes out like the cat with his paws wrapped after getting the claws taken out and just kind of goes,
ow, ow, ow.
And then tries to walk away just like on tiptoes. Oh man, just Martina Sasquatch, I saw you drop that message off, And I think I know the one that you're talking about where he's playing Spock. That might be the one. Actually, I want to see the reboot yet again. The next iteration of the J.J. Abrams Star Trek. In the number 4. Hopefully, it's better than 3. 3 was kind of 3 sucked. 3 really sucked, except for having Idris Elba. That was the only thing that was good about that movie, and I really like his work. He does kind of cool stuff. But yeah, of course, no more Chekhov. So that guy's Anton Yeltsin, I think it was. Basically, the unfortunate death by calamity, stupidity, and just bad luck. That one really sucked. But anyway, I don't know if you guys heard about this one or not, but supposedly there was a march. Oh, my nose is bugging me. It's like itching. Anyway, there was a speech or the Tucker Carlson thing or something like that where Mike Pence was being interviewed, and he's like, I don't care about American cities. I got bigger fish to fry. I'm more worried about like what's going on in Ukraine and blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to blow off American problems and this, that, and the other thing. Well, he was walking through the streets and obviously surrounded by Secret Service guys. Well, this little kid, this little girl just absolutely pegged him right in the back of the head with a water balloon. I cannot do it justice. I mean, I can throw it into the into the room here, but oh my stars and garters, I cannot do it justice. It was absolutely just, he's walking along. Hi, hey, how you doing? Piff. I mean, she just pegged him, man. Like beyond like little league fastball, just right to the back of the head, just piff. And he was like, quick recovery. Hi, fake guy that I am. Hello. Hey, everybody. Hi. I'm going to eat some Metamucil later and take a dump. Hey. Oh, hello. Wow. Brave New Worlds thought the uniforms were really close to the first show. Brave New Worlds. Is that, let's see, which one's, that's going to be on Paramount streaming, I think. Yes, Bartini Sasquatch saw and loved that pop. Yeah, that was beyond measure. I cannot do it justice. That was just beyond hilarious. So let me keep myself honest here. Strange New Worlds. Now, you guys know I'm a total sci-fi geek, so yes, I watched the entire first series. Basically, Ethan Peck is playing Spock. Anson Mount playing Christopher Pike. Yeah, I thought it was really kind of cool where he's like, yes, I could change things to, make sure that I don't wind up in that, firestorm and wind up riding the wheelchair. And they basically let him know, dude, if you do monkey around with the, the normal line of progression of things, let's just say you wipe out the entire universe, okay? Yeah, Martina Sasquatch, I watched the entire first series. Obviously, episodes 1 through whatever, episode, blah, 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 series, whatever. First series, watch the entire thing. We got Paramount streaming here and Hulu and, other stuff. But yeah, I watched that. I thought it was good. I thought he actually played a very interesting, maybe not so, stick up his ass kind of Starfleet officer, which I thought was kind of cool. I did think it was hilarious, though. It's like every time you turn around, they go into his cabin, and dude's cabin is like laid out with a spread. I mean, he's obviously a very advanced cook. And it's like everybody's walking in there going, trying all his various offerings, just going, man, this is amazing. This captain's awesome. You're like scarfing down food in the off hours. But yeah, I thought it was very interesting. The first series, of course, they actually did bring back the time machine. What was it? Oh man, what the heck is that? Let me keep myself honest here. The time machine. I forget how it addresses itself. The Guardian of Forever or something like that. Yeah, I think that's what it calls itself. It calls itself the Guardian of Forever. Yeah, that's what it is. It's the Guardian of Forever. Capture the old-time naval away from home feeling with that and the Gorn. Well, yeah, Gorn. I did think it was kind of sad though that they wiped out the blonde the blind the blind guy that was the engineer. Hang on a second here. I gotta understand he's basically infested with Gorn, and he's got no chance there. But yeah, it was kind of bittersweet to see that guy bite it. Hemmer, yes, Hemmer. He was playing the Aenar subspecies of the Andorians. Those are the guys who are the cave dwellers, and they're high psychic, and they can actually understand and read things. And yeah, that was cool. But yeah, Hammer. Not a great name, but cool character. I thought he was a lot of fun. Oh yeah. Yeah, Pedro Fever, you got to catch those. The first series was pretty solid. Unfortunately, of course, they kill Hemmer. I know I'm not letting anything away. I mean, it's literally all over the internet. I'm not letting out any major plot twists there. Except he basically, he's one of these guys that's he's a red suit. He's not going to make it. Unfortunately, sorry. But I'm not taking anything away from the series by saying that. That's not like the most profound thing about the series is saying, oh, Hemmer is like, the central character. At best, he's a secondary character that they have really good plot twists sometimes roll around. Actually, no, if you're saying the phrase you're trying to say is this. Qapla'. And Qapla' is just like success or victory or just, yeah, we kicked their ass. That's Qapla'. So that would actually be the correct spelling and how it works in Thinganese. It's Q lower A large P L-A, Qapla' or Qapla'. Where you kind of have like that almost like like glottal kind of click almost. Yeah, but Qapla', it's basically success. Scroll. This guy, this friggin' guy. And there's ever a time I really, really want to cuss. It's talking about this lump of this lump. And it's not even that he's from New Jersey, but man, I'll tell you what, this lump of Quach. Okay. Hang on a second here. I can keep myself honest here. I know what you're trying to say now. Okay, I know the word, I just can't look it up right now. But yeah, you're basically, it's referring to somebody as like a nerd or an idiot or a nabob or something like that. I know the phrase which you're trying to come up with. But it's just not coming to me. But supposedly Chris Christie reveals how he would have answered Ukraine question from Tucker Carlson. This lump of bovine refuse, really, they're giving him entirely too much time on air, and they're giving him entirely too much time as a major distraction to try to say, no, don't look at Trump. This guy, look at this guy. This guy's so much better. You see, Trump is like way down here, and Chris Christie's way up here because Chris Christie's so much better than Trump. And dude, he's polling worse than Kamala did. Okay, nobody wants Chris Christie to run for anything. Kind of like the former governor of my state. Oh, I mean, you can talk to Democrats and Republicans and everybody in my state's like, yeah, he really kind of didn't do a whole heck of a lot. No, he didn't. He had 2 terms and didn't do squat, except basically try to create the least amount of controversy possible and try to get along with everybody. And of course, do absolutely nothing major in the policy mandating therein. And literally, he could have snatched victory from the sure jaws of victory. And, well, he did on every occasion. Wow. This one, I cannot begin to tell you how much this cracks me up and what kind of hubris this really is. But, oh, my stars and garters, this one This one so tickles me. Let me pop the sucker open in another tab here, and I'll get into it. But this is the kind of stuff that really just tickles me. Okay, this is the kind of stuff that really just tickles me. Yahoo News, also that paragon of virtue known as those people who are really truly just going to put the most left-hearted crap out there and think that people actually read Yahoo News. Wow, it's like it's actually the stepping stone where most people go, I want to go and check out my email and go boop. Oh, what's it? Yahoo News? No. And they're like looking for the mail button on Yahoo. Anyway, so the storyline is this. Andrew Romano, West Coast correspondent, updated Tuesday, July 18. Why is Joe Kaka so unpopular? In this article, Joe Biden, 46th and current president of the United States, and this really stupid picture of him. I cannot begin to tell you what the profile picture. It's just really, really bad. Quote, this 360 shows you the diverse perspectives on today's top stories and debates. What's happening? At this point in time, 910 days in, Joe Biden is the second most unpopular president in modern U.S. history. Okay, now wait how long it is before they tell you who the first most unpopular is. Give it time, folks. I think the first guy is going to be really, really, really happy to live long enough to see his numbers crater. As of July 18th, Biden's average job approval rating, according to the poll aggregators at 538, is a paltry 39.1%. His average disapproval rating is 55.4%. That means his net approval rating is negative 6.3, which is well, quote unquote, underwater, as pollsters like to say. Negative 16.3 is really bad historically speaking. In fact, the only president with weaker numbers than Biden was Jimmy Carter, who hit 28.6 on day 910. At the time, just 29% of Americans approved of Carter's performance on average, while 57.6 disapproved. Now, what happened when Jimmy Carter went into office? We were at a low point because obviously the economy was crap. But what year did Jimmy Carter go into office? Let's see, shall we? Jimmy Carter, president of these United States. Let's see. He became president. Was it 1975? Potentially. He was the president in office from 1977 to 1981 when he was basically kicked out and replaced by Ronaldus Maximus. And I'm saying that blithely because there's some things Reagan did that I don't like. But what did he actually do that so screwed everybody? Well, they're now trying to gild the lily here, but trust me, folks, I remember being a little kid and sitting in the car in gas station lines between odd and even days. Okay? Hang on a second here. So, what was going on when Carter was in office? But they're trying to buff this up and they're trying to make it look better. The U.S. was in much, much worse shape in 1979, the year that Carter lost re-election to Ronald Reagan, than it is in 2023. Inflation had skyrocketed to 13.3% year over year. Unemployment is steadily stuck at 6%. And the price of oil is in the process of doubling. Global shortages were so bad, Americans took to waiting in long lines and occasionally punching each other in local gas stations. Yeah. In contrast, a gallon of gas today costs roughly 30% less than it did 12 months ago. Barely, folks. Okay, trust me. I drive for a living, and the difference between $5 gasoline and $3.60 or $3.50 gallon gasoline is not that big a stance. Okay, it's not really that good versus $2 gasoline. Excuse me, my nose is really bugging me today. At 3.6%, unemployment is on par with 50-year lows and is down by almost half since Biden took office. This is an utter left-hard fantasy pie in the sky, good time rock and roll banana. Just so completely off the mark. What was that? Good time rock and roll banana and all that for anyway, but they're now quoting also the inflation has cooled to 3% at the peak in last summer. Okay, here's the other thing too, is also there is no way you can compare the United States of 1970s to the current United States of the 2020s. It is completely different animal. Okay, the NASDAQ is around now. All kinds of technologies have taken over. There's all kinds of completely different paradigms. I mean, you didn't have mobile tech devices. Okay, you basically had a car that, if you were lucky, had a 3-speed transmission, not a 10-speed transmission. And if I could get a car back in the 70s that would get the same gas mileage as what I'm getting with my current vehicle, it would be a miracle. Okay, for me to get that mileage back then, I'd be driving some little putt Japanese car. Okay, that would not happen back in the 1970s. If I keep my foot out of it with my 7-passenger Honda Pilot, I can get 24, almost 25 miles per gallon. Okay, that is not happening back in the 1970s with expensive ass gasoline. So you got to put also things on par where the stock market was way more turbulent, but also the interest rates sucked. Buying a house back then, the interest rates were like high double digits. They're not nearly that high right now. But also, also have the other thing too, with the Fed's doing its cooling. It's playing around with interest rates and trying to get everything to cool off. It's completely a different animal. They're not even close to being compared to one another. The only thing you really have to worry about right now, and any of this pap they're throwing around in this article, is the fact that Joe Kaka is closing in very, very quickly on Jimmy Carter in worse economic times. Not to say that we have great economic times now, but the interest in the inflation back in the 1970s is not nearly like what we have going on now in comparison. Not even close. Scrolly. Also, the other thing too is also Carter is actually maybe just a little bit more likable. It's completely different animal. I do actually have to shift gears a little bit here because now I gotta employ older sound effects. So let me dig down into the old, the deepest, darkest hole. That was me, not sound guy. All right, we're going to be talking about, of course, the classic good old
The Chinese Communist COVID viral infection.
we're going to go to that one first. Okay. Okay. I was just going to say we're talking about the
Chinese Communist COVID viral infection.
I actually put the pause on that one as he was playing it. No, we're talking about the
Chinese Communist COVID viral infection.
Okay, and there's a news story out. One of the big, not going to let you talk about it except for, our side of the aisle and all the things that we know better than you because you guys really, truly don't know what you're talking about because, oh yeah, you guys are wrong. We have the silence on our side. This coming in from truthpress.com. The New York Times admits 30% of
The Chinese Communist COVID viral infection.
deaths were it from.
Chinese Communist COVID viral infection.
Oh no! So reading into the article, lots of health statistics can be deceiving, especially when comparing country to country, even region to region. It's intentionally frustrating when non-comparable stats are used to make a point, usually a political point. Another case is talking about
The Chinese Communist COVID viral infection.
stats, where the U.S. rates pretty poorly is with infant mortality, despite years being told the U.S. government has been rigorous for properly counting
The Chinese Communist COVID viral infection.
deaths. Everybody has been, with the working brains, figured out by now the U.S. has grossly overcounted deaths from the Chinese Communist COVID viral infection. There's lots of reasons for that. Actual financial incentive to do so. Government paying out large sums to healthcare providers for the patients of said item and paying the death expense of those who died from that item. Of course, the establishment wanted everybody panicked and compliant. No better to do that. Claim every motorcycle victim was a victim who died from the Chinese Communist COVID viral infection. After this is Kevin Bass, PhD, MS. I don't know what that means, but after relentlessly, it's a tweet of his. After relentlessly calling it a conspiracy theory, the New York Times and the CDC now admit that authorities overcounted the Chinese Communist COVID viral infection deaths and overhyped the pandemic. About a third of official Chinese Communist COVID viral infection deaths, or hundreds of thousands of deaths, were not due to the Chinese Communist COVID viral infection. Yeah, I've heard about that, where somebody would go to the hospital, traumatic injury, basically dude splatterated in a car wreck, and it's like, oh yeah, he died from the Chinese Communist covert viral infection. What? What? Huh? No. But yeah, they were claiming that hardcore. I don't know if you guys heard about this one or not. This one is unbelievably hilarious. So the best line in this article, I'm just going to pull it out and read it right now. But the absolute best best line in this article, the absolute best line in this article is, I cannot do this justice. This is just classic. Best line. Disney has lost over $900 million on their last 8 big budget movie releases. They are no longer a hit-making company. They are a bomb factory. Big budget bombs. All right, so this is one of those ones where they're now going, oh crap, damage control. This is not good. So I know the title is here and I could read that, but that would give away actually what's going on with the whole long and short about this whole thing. So let me just get to the story first before I read the title and give it all away. Just give me 1 second here. I cannot do this justice. This is utterly scrumptious, shall we say. So you've probably heard about Disney's recent struggles. The company is losing money hand over fist. They laid off thousands and only making even more drastic cuts. And even their CEO is considering getting rid of the TV properties just to stop the bleeding. We all know why the biggest Hollywood company is falling apart. They become hopelessly woke. If these fuckers could not stop being how they are, they wouldn't be dealing with half this crap, but they keep doing it, because they are now hopelessly locked into the whole, we're not going to stop being anything, but we're...
Woke commentary. Yeah.
It's not woke commentary, okay? It's not. No, it's not woke commentary, okay? We're talking about the fact that Disney has done it so fast and so hard and so hardcore that anyway, so they've been doing it to themselves, beholden to the
SYZPDQOU
Would you stop with the Wilhelm scream? Anyway, it's like you can't escape that thing in movies. So anyway, they become hopelessly woke. Americans might have assumed the company would have by now learned to err of their ways should Disney wake up and end product projects that are pushing left-wing progressive politics. Get back to the stories America love without all the liberal nonsense. Nope. In fact, latest news reveals it's getting even worse. From the Daily Wire. Daily Wire host Matt Welsh went viral over the weekend after Disney admitted that the images reportedly leaked from the live-action Snow White remake are genuine after the company initially appeared to deny it. Yeah, remember that thing I told you about the internet? There is no delete button. Whoopsie. So Walsh tweeted on Sunday to his 2.3 million followers a headline from the AV Club, which reads, quote, Disney now says those Snow White photos are simply, quote unquote, not official, end quote. Well, he posted in this tweet, and I'll simply just give it to you, as it is. Snow White is a 19th century German fairy tale. The name literally refers to the character's skin color. This is what actual cultural appropriation looks like. Probably the most blatant case we've seen yet. Well, they're quoting another person's tweet called "In Wokeness, Disney Strikes Again." Snow White is Hispanic, and the 7 dwarfs include 6 full-grown adults. Yipes, folks. Yipes. This is pretty ridiculous. Over the weekend, photos leaked from Disney's latest cash grab. I mean, the latest live-action remake of a classic film. Years ago, they made billions with their remake of Beauty and the Beast and Cinderella. More recently, however, they bombed with quote-unquote progressive versions of Aladdin and Little Mermaid, recasting the famous roles with black actors instead of white ones. The leaked photos of Snow White remake reveals they cast a Hispanic woman to play Snow White. Literally a white character. And they couldn't even bother to cast all the dwarf actors to play the 7 dwarfs. What the heck? Liberal outlets like the Daily Beast rushed to protect Disney, spreading the claim the photos were fake. But less than a day later, Disney confirmed they were real, not just official. Sorry, they were real, just not official. So Disney is making a horrible remake with race swap characters to appease the radical left. Some of the phrasing in this art, dude, is on point. A horrible remake with race swapped characters to appease the radical left. Wow, what golden phrases dude generates there. I get ready to predict the box office results. Bomb. And that was where he had the one about Disney's lost over 900 million, becoming a bomb factory. All this because the movies are loaded with woke content that's turning off Americans. Does anyone really want to watch a progressive Snow White? The story is anti-feminist in every way possible. The prince saves the princess. Hello. But Disney is not done ruining the last piece of our beloved cultural heritage. They ruined Marvel, Star Wars, The Little Mermaid, Mickey Mouse, and Snow White. How much money do they have to lose before they figure out we don't want this? And I can only do, I really can't even do justice to the pictures, but let me see if I can't do something real stupid here, hopefully, so you guys can see what the heck I'm talking about here. Let me just do a real quick cheat, okay? And of course I have my flash on. I hate when I do that. See if I can't do a real quick cheat so you guys can see what I'm talking about, but I cannot do this justice, man. This is just beyond. It's so far beyond. Let me see if I just can't cheat this. Some trying to do a phone on so you see basically what I'm talking about. Obviously a Latino chick and obviously big guys playing little guys. But yeah, that's supposed to be Snow White. Man, I tell you what, it's almost like high crimes and misdemeanor for these guys to say, "Oh yeah, we're a child-based organization." I cannot do it justice, man. It's just not even funny. You know what? I think I'm going to end on this one because this is actually a really good news story. So hopefully this one works and I can throw it up there and you guys can see what I'm talking about. But the whole thing about Hunter, how do you do it without doing it, but simply just, well, you got to do it, man. You got to do it. We're talking about, of course, Hunter, the White House, and
Oh, Snortsky! I just snorted a suitcase full of coke, and I'm starting to feel the effects.
Yeah, suck that dust up.
I like it.
you know what? That's kind of one of those things you can tell good music when you actually take a song and you put it in the MIDI and it still sounds pretty good. Yeah, I mean, Eric Clapton's Cocaine is just a great tune, man. There's no other way I can take it. I can't take anything from it other than to simply say, yeah, it's all that and the Cat's Pajamas, and yeah, it's good stuff. Anyway, now you got to remember, of course, the guy was a Secret Service agent, so he still knows people in the industry. I'm talking about none other than Dan Bongino, and this one coming in from RepublicanDaily.com. But Dan Bongino says the Secret Service agents are furious and quote unquote know who's behind the how do I say it without saying it? But the
Snortsky.
yeah, they know who the Snortsky belongs to. Anyway, so going into the story of the cocaine found in Biden White House has been quite a wild ride. It's narrative that wouldn't stop changing. First, the cocaine was quote unquote found near the White House, and it wasn't really cocaine. Then it was found near the White House library, and it was left by a tourist. After that, it was found by the West Executive entrance and was left by a construction worker. I heard they're actually trying to blame a white guy or a black guy for white stuff, or it might be Babylon B, but it's it's fat that you can keep making fun of it because it's such a ridiculous story. So the claims just keep morphing, seemingly every day, brought in by New Shift, despite location being a detail that had been known since the initial discovery. And then just as the White House settled on a final narrative, the investigation suddenly ended. Okay, it doesn't just end. Okay, the Secret Service is not going to walk away from potentially. I've heard people banding about, saying anthrax could have been left there, or some other, really nasty, icky stuff that could have been really, really horrible. That potentially could have been left there, and bad things could have happened. But if you're talking about, dealing with the fact that you're looking at a pile of,
Ooh, Snortsky.
yeah, it's not like Snortsky just pops up everywhere. Okay, you're just gonna be dealing with the fact that there is obviously a person who brought it in there, would not be searched to bring it in there, and obviously would be in the higher echelon of people to bring it in there in the first place, because the Secret Service would say, dude, no, 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 no,
Ooh, Snortsky.
no.
I just snorted a suitcase full of coke, and I'm starting to feel the effects.
Stop.
Yeah, suck that dust up.
I like it.
Okay, well, there wouldn't be any Snortsky and snorting a whole suitcase full, and you wouldn't like it because the Secret Service would just say, no, no.
Ooh, Snortsky.
Sound guy, stop. They would say that there is no reason you're bringing any.
Ooh, Snortsky.
You're not bringing Snortsky into the White House in the first place, okay? It's not happening. Peter Fever. I thought to revise the story to say it's powdered sugar. Yeah, because for some reason Hunter's just got this Jones for powdered sugar in his coffee. It's just I can't have anything but powdered sugar in my coffee. It just jacks me up, man. Yeah. Well, anyway, so Bongino has his contacts, I'm sure. So who's responsible? According to the Secret Service, it's just a mystery too deep to solve. Sure, there were cameras at the West Executive entrance, multiple checkpoints, and even a visitor log, but the agency that's tasked with stopping assassins simply couldn't crack the code. According to Dan Bongino, a former Secret Service agent with over a decade of experience, his peers aren't happy about this. Dan Bongino on Dan Bongino, at Don Bongino, weighs in the White House cocaine mystery. Quote, a lot of my former colleagues in the Secret Service, they're absolutely furious about this. These are good guys who worked for Obama and Bush. They know exactly who it was. End quote. Let's see what that sounds like. I mean, that's the first time I've listened to that one, but dude absolutely nails it. I mean, there's no other way to explain it for what it is. The Secret Service knows exactly whose Coke it is. Wow. So if you're dealing with, well, you know, some,
Oh, Snortsky!
you know who it belongs to, okay? It doesn't just go by the wayside. Excuse me, I'm gonna be dinging here for a second. My volume level's a little high. I had to jack it up so you guys could hear that. Anyway, so looking at things as it is, I truly appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight. And you got many other things to do on a Tuesday, but decided to hang out with me. So I will take my leave. Yeah, I guess I'll take my leave. So anyway, looking at things as it is. Oh, music. Hey, that's always good touch. All right, so I'm gonna break up with this one, folks. Eat good, can't talk today. Eat good, keep your ring. As always, you know you love it. You guys have many other things to do. You get a gold star for attendance. Thank you for hanging out with me. I will catch you guys next time. Good stuff like that there, and I will see you on the next occasion of Dude After Dark, and possibly something sooner. I don't know. I'll catch you guys then. Have a good week, and I will see you then. See you guys. British.